Kyrie Irving ahead of schedule, Nico Harrison? What does it mean potentially for the Dallas Mavericks and their title aspirations? We'll jump into all of it coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Hey, what's up, DLLS Mavs Nation? It's your man, Kevin Gray, alongside Mavericks beat writer Tim Cato, Mavericks analyst Bobby Carella. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys covering your favorite team every single day. Is Kyrie Irving ahead of schedule, Nico Harrison, when it comes to his ACL recovery, and what does it mean for the potential title aspirations for your Dallas Mavericks? Plus, Bleacher report released its top 100 players of all time, and my guy Carella's got some beef with the list, Dirk Nowitzki, when it comes to this all-time list. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the show on this terrific Tuesday, gentlemen. What's up, Tim Cato? How are we?
Doing fantastic.
Muted fantastic.
I am. I'm doing fantastic.
I'm glad
you're gonna have to do a little more to convince me. Y'all look nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Oh, wait. Why? You don't usually compliment me. What's going on?
Oh, wow.
Well,
does it have something to do with
by the looks of it, y'all are wearing
shirts
I haven't seen before.
Brand new T-shirts, baby. Brand new T-shirts.
Looking
Hot off the
sharp.
presses, baby.
Yeah. Looking sharp. Tim, you want to do a little twirl?
No,
That's right.
Not with the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that one's got something on the back. KG, does yours have anything on the back? I don't think so, right?
No, nothing on the back.
Okay.
Pop it up
The
again, Tanner.
Stetson is looking sharp.
Shout out to
there we go.
The new Dallas collection of DLLS T-shirts. You can
It's
see
looking good.
I've got the Dallas Maverick T-shirt of the Dallas collection. Our guy Jeff Kavanaugh was wearing the Dallas versus all y'all T-shirt.
Nolan Ryan kicking Robin Ventura's ass.
That's right.
In 8-bit or 16-bit.
We've got plenty of those where they came from. Shop.allcitynetwork.com to get your Dallas collection. Get all 6 of them. Of course, being part of our DLLS Sports family. We've got a lot to get into, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and do that here on our show today as the Mavericks fell last night to Con Kniffel and the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA Summer League, but it was Mavericks president and general manager Nico Harrison who had the most newsworthy comments last night during the NBA on TV broadcast when discussing Kyrie Irving and his return and his recovery from his ACL
Trigger
tear
warning, Nico Harrison video incoming.
that Kyrie suffered back on March 3rd. Here is what Nico Harrison had to say about Kyrie Irving and his rehab right now.
I saw on social media, Kyrie's excited. We know he's a dog, but what's the latest on how he's progressing?
Kyrie's ahead of schedule, but we kind of knew he would be because the way he attacks his rehab, and he's going 2 and 3 times a day. But we don't want him to rush it as much as he wants to rush it. But he's going to be fine.
Ahead of schedule is one Kyrie Irving, but Nico Harrison, as you heard, said they don't want to rush Kyrie back from that ACL injury, gentlemen. Good news? No news?
I mean, you're missing one part of this. He is ahead of schedule, and they knew he was going to be ahead of schedule.
That's right.
So is he even ahead of schedule?
Ooh, what a paradox.
Maybe he's actually on schedule based off their own schedule. As opposed to some other schedule. And then also, he's not going to get rushed back. So we're still where we were right before this. Obviously, ACLs are weird. You've seen players come back in 8 months and be fine. That is not the likeliest, most common outcome, but there is no set outcome to an ACL injury. We've seen players need 14 months to come back. We've seen players adjust right away when they get back. We've seen players struggle for years, never get back to the same place. It's all unknown. It's not the most important thing is don't rush it. I think everybody should expect Kyrie to be some semblance of the player he was, 80-90% of the player he was at some point in this rehab. I think that is like a bar that is safe to assume. Maybe he's back sooner. Maybe he's just as good. maybe he is, what did he say? 115% better?
150,000% better.
150,000% better.
Off.
Yeah, don't shortchange.
Yeah, so maybe he's going to come back and be the best player of all time. We don't know. But these comments just, to me, indicate we still don't know.
Yeah, we're not in his rehab room, and I haven't seen the schedule. I don't know, when the benchmarks are and the mileposts are and all that stuff. But I guess my question is, Nico praised him for going to rehab and getting in the gym 2 to 3 times per day. Why not 5 to 6 times per day? Why not 15 to 16 times per day? Why isn't Kyrie just living at if that would speed it up? Like get back out there, buddy. Like he could have been healed by now.
Well, how would he have done a 24-hour live stream?
That's true. He's putting content before the game, man. Who would do that? Certainly not us. Certainly not us. Yeah, we've said it a gazillion times. If Kyrie, the longer Kyrie's out, the less likely the Mavs are to have a good season, or to even have an average season. And so, if he comes back sooner, that would be great. But again, tap the brakes. Like, fans want a fan. We want to all get excited. I want to see Kyrie out as soon as I possibly can. I love when that guy plays. I love watching him play. But, err on the side of caution because the alternative could be completely catastrophic.
And I still do believe Dallas is going to be very cautious about bringing him back. It's like the downside of making statements like this is that you're setting expectations that Kyrie is going to try to, be expected to come back sooner because people are saying, Nico Harrison is saying he's ahead of schedule. I still don't think there's going to be any rushing him back. And it takes till March, then it takes till March. I think everybody's hope is that it doesn't.
And there should be no rushing back of Kyrie Irving. We have talked about this before when it comes to players recovering from ACL injuries. It's usually a year after they're removed from the ACL that they are back to their quote-unquote normal selves. Now, athletes can have different timelines and recover quickly more than others. You think about a guy like Adrian Peterson, for example, who was back to MVP form less than a year after his ACL tear. You say, Kevin, that has to do with the NFL and football. The idea is that every athlete is different in terms of their recovery, and Kyrie Irving may be, even at the age of 33, 34 years old, be able to come back quicker than what we expect.
Although I will point out that in the past, that has not been the case for Kyrie.
Sure.
And injuries he has had in the past. This is a different injury. But by that metric, I agree with you. But also by that metric, if you're looking for any reason to think that, it's not in his past injury history.
So with that being said, making sure that he takes as much time as he needs to be able to be as close to 100% when he does return to the floor so that it gives the Mavericks the best opportunity to make the kind of run that they believe that they can. But the idea when it comes to the expectations for him, I think those need to be tempered given what he is dealing with, but more importantly, what this team is trying to achieve in the wake of him being out, because they're going to need as close to 100% of Kyrie Irving as they can get in order to make the season as successful as they want to. But if you're looking for encouraging signs, Nico Harrison discussing the idea of him being ahead of schedule, maybe you take that with a little bit of excitement given what this team is looking to achieve going into next year. Regardless, though, take your time, Kai. Like, recovering from ACLs can be difficult, but at the same time, this team will love to have him back as soon as they can, especially with the excitement of Cooper Flagg going into next season. The Mavericks did play last night against the Charlotte Hornets. They did fall. Ryan Nembhard continued to play much better in his third preseason game after bouncing back from that second one against the San Antonio Spurs as the Mavericks fell to Conca and the Charlotte Hornets last night. Bobby, I know that you were watching a little bit of last night's game. What were some of the things that you took away from last night's game?
Ryan Nembhard is now the best player on the team. Now that Cooper Flagg's been shut down, he played a little more than half the game. And look, I wouldn't describe it as a back and forth affair, but the game was pretty competitive for like 2.5, 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter was a little bit of sad times. But their shot quality, I would say, whenever he was on the floor was a lot better than it was whenever he was off. I mean, he was serving guys up with looks. He had more than half of the team's assists, and he only had 3 of their 17 turnovers. So that lets you know, he was creating a lot of this stuff. And going into the game last night, we said that really no one else on the team, Miles Kelly has been okay, and he was 3 for 10 last night, a couple threes bounced in and out, so it is what it is. But outside of Nembhard, Kelly, and of course Cooper Flagg, like no one else really on the team has made much of an impression, and the Mavs have one empty two-way spot available that they could use. Generally, the conventional wisdom is if you're worried that much about the 15th roster spot and the third two-way spot, it could be a bad season. But like all those guys mattered a whole lot last year, so I think that we should all worry about that a lot and be really concerned with that. My prediction after 3 games is I do not believe that the third two-way spot will go to a player currently on the roster. I think they're going to have to look out elsewhere. Moussa Cisse had an okay game, but really no one else on the team has popped at all. And Cisse had a pretty rough first couple games. So unless one of those guys finds something, he was just Unless one of those guys finds something in the last couple games or really impresses in camp, which is still certainly a possibility. I would say my official prediction, my fishy dicty, is that
let's not do that one again.
The two-way spot will come from another team.
Yeah, you might want to leave that one alone.
I'm usually okay with most of them. I'm gonna put my foot down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to leave that one alone next time.
Yeah, can we not do that one?
Yeah, next time workshop that before you try that. Okay?
I will.
Thanks.
Shop is an abbreviation of workshop. You have a problem when people say I'm going to head to the shop?
Did you hear what you just said a second ago?
No. What did I say?
I'm not gonna say it again. I'm gonna let you watch it back and then you can see what you said. 87-69 was the final score from last night. Ryan Nembhard, and what was for him 11 points and 8 assists last night in the game in the 25 minutes that he played, going 4 of 8 from the field. Miles Kelly going 3 of 10 from the field last night with 7 points in the losing effort as the Mavericks fall to 1-2 in NBA Summer League.
So we weren't going to talk about this, but should we, for 2 minutes, since everybody in the chat is talking about the LeBron rumors, just acknowledge that they're out there and still nothing has changed?
Yeah,
as far as we know,
Twitter is buzzing, but that's just what. But birds chirp.
The sports books I've noticed. Certainly,
yeah, but again, I mean, and like
we just talked to somebody.
Yeah, nothing but respect for Jeff Sherman 100%. From the Westgate. But like sports books their goal is to win your money. Like they're trying to take money away from you. They're not a bank. They don't want to give the money to you. They want to fool you. So just because the sports books say something doesn't really.
But they're also reacting to a lot of the same information we have.
Yeah,
and so as more rumors go out there,
and not from Winnegoat and some dude, I forget that guy's name, Jeff Pergers or whatever, like not a bunch of like fake Twitter accounts, like real stuff.
Yeah,
stuff of substance.
For sure. I will say the weight of the rumors it's weightier than it's ever been. Like I've even seen this. Like I've had a couple people text me if like, do you think this stuff's real? I don't have any more information. I think we're still at where we were before, which is the belief that why would the Lakers buy out LeBron? And the Mavericks are posturing, and I think they're right to posture, not to go trade players of value for a player who is 40 years old and has less than 150 games left in his career. There's other bits of evidence you could point at and like build an argument that this is leading to this, and this is why it's likely. But fundamentally, that's what I keep getting stuck on, is that they shouldn't trade younger players for LeBron James, and the Lakers should not buy him out. So
the Mavericks have been installed as the new favorites to land LeBron James, according to Bovado official, at plus 125. The Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors, and New York Knicks fall in line as far as those odds to land LeBron James. So,
and those are odds to land him if he were to get traded. If you were to put the Lakers on that list of what team is LeBron going to play for next season, that's why they're not doing that list, because it would be the Lakers at the top overwhelmingly. It would not be a very fun set of odds.
There's your obligatory LeBron report for the DLLS Mavs. That's right, Tanner. Spamming LeBron.
But don't go anywhere, because we're talking about it more at the end of the show. So stick with us all the way through to the end.
Coming up next year on the DLLS Mavs podcast, I had a chance to sit down with ESPN senior writer and basketball Hall of Famer Marc Spears to get his thoughts on not only Cooper Flagg, but the Mavericks as title contenders if this stays true for them. We'll talk about it next on the DLLS Mavs podcast.
Just like your favorite team needs a home court advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and Empire Today can help you get it. Empire Today has flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day of their lives. We've been to the big box stores. You get lost in there, and you eventually find the flooring department. The guy you're talking to who says he's in the flooring representative, who knows what he was doing yesterday? He might have been doing microwaves. He might have been doing TV dinners. He might have been doing those little trays that you pop open in front of your microwave.
He probably was.
And so it's the biggest difference between Empire Today and the big box stores. Empire Today is fully focused on flooring every single day. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. DLLS listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code DLLS. Yes, you heard that right. A $350 discount with code DLLS. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DLLS for full details.
Let me talk to you about your money and how to manage your money and take care of those goals that you need to in order to have your financial freedom. And you can do that with Monarch Money. Obviously, it's tough to manage finances. You're trying to get things set up for trips. You're trying to get things set up for your retirement. You're trying to get things set up for your long-term future. And Monarch Money is your financial coach to be able to help you do it. You can start managing your finances to build the life that you actually want. Without a clear financial picture, financial dreams can feel out of reach. And Monarch Money makes managing money simple, even for us with our busy lives. Financial stress is one of the top reasons financial relationships fall apart. But at the same time, Monarch Money makes those conversations much, much easier. You can track shared and individual accounts, set goals together, and keep money check-ins drama-free with Monarch Money. So get control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code DLLS at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DLLS today.
Real quick, KG, within like 45 minutes of landing at the Vegas airport, Monarch sent me a little notification that said, travel budget has been updated.
Oh, so let's go.
They knew that, I think they saw how much I withdrew from my bank account, and they're always keeping an eye out for you. All right,
hey, look at there.
They're always taking care of you.
Looking out for your money there. Let's talk to Marc J. Spears of ESPN, senior writer and basketball Hall of Fame. I had a chance to sit down with him while out in Las Vegas. I had a chance to talk to him about a lot of different things, including the Mavericks title chances, Cooper Flagg, and this new coaching staff. Here's our conversation with ESPN's Marc J. Spears. Marc J. Spears of ESPN joining us here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Marc, how are you?
Man, this is cool.
Appreciate it, yeah.
And they gave me a glass of wine.
They gave you a glass of wine.
I'm not going to tell you how much they paid for it.
As of course,
and the guy handed me a glass, and he goes, "It's a cab." And I'm like, "Well, from where?" It's a cab.
Exactly. So, of course, as you see, we're here at the Westgate Superbook in Las Vegas, the official hotel of the DLLS Mavs podcast, where, of course, Cooper Flagg finished up his couple of games in Summer League, had 31 points against the San Antonio Spurs. He is done for his Summer League for 2025. Your thoughts on Cooper Flagg? His performance went 5 of 21 in the first game, played much better from a shooting perspective in that second game. What did you think not only of his performances, but you've watched this player for quite some time now?
He had nothing to prove to me.
Yeah.
Like, I was already sold. I figured it'd be like 2 games, and your biggest concern is with him is don't get hurt.
Yeah.
And so he had the one fall.
Mm-hmm.
Came up holding his wrist, and I'm like, all right, this is his last game. When I saw that.
Yeah.
But I do think for him, probably playing in Summer League is a little difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're playing with guys who are trying to get a job.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm watching the guards play and everything. I'm like, this guy's about to be the face of the franchise. I might feed him every time.
Let him get down right now.
Like, don't worry about your shot right now. You might want to give him the ball. He's about to run this place.
That's right.
But I first saw him face-to-face at the Hoop Summit.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how fast things happen.
Yeah.
The Hoop Summit in Portland in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
AJ DeBanza, the next big name coming up. He was playing in it. VJ Edgecombe. That was the first time I saw VJ Edgecombe. Boozer Twins.
Yeah.
No, actually, they weren't there.
Okay.
But there was a lot of talented players there, and it was just, he's here.
Yeah. Just a cut above the rest
He
of
was
them.
cut above it. I mean, obviously, AJ was a little younger at that point, but he's here.
You saw
it
him
was
also,
like no question about it that
Yeah.
he was the best player there. And then I also saw him, work out against the USA Olympic team. He was playing with basically the select team, which they were used last summer to get the the varsity team ready for the Olympics.
Senior team ready, yeah.
And so, I was talking to one of the coaches that was coaching with the select team, which was all NBA players with the exception of Cooper-Flagg. And he said he was the best player on that team, on the select team. I'm like, the best? Everybody else was NBA. He was the best player.
And that includes, of course, Anthony Davis, who was on that team.
No. I'm not talking about the national team. I'm talking about the select team.
Yes.
No, I ain't say that. No, don't get me in.
No.
Don't get the Twitter world mad at me.
No, not at all.
No. The select team.
Yes.
And the coach was like, he's coachable. He was asking vets questions.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to get better, and he wasn't scared. And keep in mind that, like, at that time, he was 17. Because he doesn't turn 18 till December,
That's right.
He was 17 years old playing against USA Basketball's Olympic team. Against them.
That's right.
Not with them.
Right.
Guarding LeBron, guarding Anthony Davis, his current teammate, making that amazing shot against Anthony Davis. So I was like, ain't nothing he need to do this. Like he could have been in the NBA this past season. He was ready, and he probably leads to the argument that high school kids that are of a certain level should be able to come out.
Yeah, playing with a certain maturity, and you saw that throughout, the course of him getting ready to come to the NBA, getting drafted #1 with this team. He goes to a situation in Dallas where there's a lot of expectations, obviously. Kyrie Irving coming back from the torn ACL. They signed D'Angelo Russell. They get Gafford's extension done as well. Bring Dante Exum back, but this is all going to be when it comes to Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. Where do you see where this team is and how they've done so far this offseason, even drafting Cooper-Flagg into the fold, obviously, as well?
I mean, obviously Kyrie is the wild card. Like, when is he going to be back?
Yeah.
At what point? What impact does he make when he's back? Is he himself? I expect him to be. I think adding to D'Angelo Russell at the number they got him under the circumstances was brilliant.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of Kyrie-ish. He could score. Played with Anthony Davis before. Kind of feels like he's in a prove himself frame of mind. Like, I really love that video of him and Nico and showing his excitement.
So he's got a chip on his shoulder coming to Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's, unfortunately for him, he's become kind of a journeyman in this league, bounced around a lot, hasn't found a home. And that doesn't even mean Dallas is a home. I think Dallas is a place for him to prove, like, there's a different level of maturity and game now that could be valuable elsewhere. Almost like a rental player.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger thing for him is he wants to win. And if and when this team is at full strength, talent, perimeter scoring, style of play, Anthony Davis, Kyrie, Cooper-Flagg, the bigs. They're a title contending team that is versatile with depth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's any missed roster spots. Right. And that, to me, is key for a championship team, like no wasted roster spots. And their biggest problem is staying out of the training room.
Yeah, staying healthy all year.
If they're completely healthy, they're scary. And I think with Flagg, it's because this isn't like a rebuild, reconstruction. He doesn't have to come in and save the franchise, right?
No.
Like, he just has to come in, I think, and just fit in and play his game. And, you try to double him, but, Anthony Davis, you might want to double Anthony Davis over here too. Or, you're going to leave Clay wide open over here, or D'Lo wide open, or Christie wide open, or Hardy wide, like, or there's this lob threat. Like, hey, kid's got a lot of ways to win,
lively,
but it's not on him, right? It's not like when I covered Carmelo when he got to Denver, or when LeBron got to Cleveland, where it's on him to save the franchise. They had to be the man
immediately,
I was trying to think of it. And somebody said Wemby. I said, no, was thinking Magic Johnson.
Maybe even Tim Duncan back in.
But they were trash.
Yeah.
Before he got there, like they were 2 years removed from the finals, right? Like I don't know that there's another number 1 pick since Magic Johnson. Somebody said James Worthy. Somebody said,
Yeah.
That walked into a situation with was James Worthy a number 1 pick? I don't remember.
Yeah, he was number 1 pick. Yeah.
Where they walked into a situation like this. Maybe James Worthy is a good comp. But he's in a very, very good place.
Yeah.
Like plug and play.
Yeah. And doesn't have to have the pressure of trying to be the man right away.
No.
He's got a lot of veterans.
But he will be the man.
Yes, he will be the man.
I have no lack of confidence in him being special in this league eventually.
For sure. And he's got a lot of talent around him to be able to figure that out. The guy that's going to be coaching him is a man that you know very, very well, and Jason Kidd. Being from the Bay Area, you've watched, you've covered, you've talked about, and been a long time with Jason Kidd as well. He's got a new assistant staff with him. Includes Popeye Jones, Phil Handy, Frank Vogel, who he used to be under him when he was in Los Angeles. Let's talk about that coaching staff a little bit, starting with what Jason Kidd has in terms of the departures of, Jared Dudley and God, Sham God, and Sean Sweeney, but really replaced them with some terrific names on the staff.
All those guys were great. Sham God's my guy. I'll see him in Orlando, right? He has an aura about him. But these guys that they've added, I mean, that coaching staff is pretty sensational. You got 3 guys that obviously could be head coaches to me.
Sure.
Frank Vogel, I remember writing a story on Kidd. I think Mavs fans should look it up, where he talked about when he got the Dallas job, like how much he learned from Frank Vogel in Los Angeles. Like how, remember, Kidd was in transition, and he coached in the bubble, got a championship as a coach,
And his assistant with him.
Came from Brooklyn and did all, went there. But he said his Frank Vogel experience made him a better head coach. And having Vogel as your associate head coach is, come on, that's pretty
special.
Pretty good. He's
they get a chance to reverse the role a little bit this time around.
That's why it's key to keep your relationships, man, because you never know how life changes, right?
For sure.
Phil Handy, I've known Phil Handy since I was 18 years old. And Phil Handy was one of the greatest scorers I've ever seen in college.
Yeah.
So he played at San Francisco City College, but he also played at a school called Ohlone College. I played at a junior college called Foothill College. And Phil, he hates me telling this story, but when we played him when he was at Ohlone, before he went and played at Hawaii, he scored 40 on us.
Okay.
But we beat him by 40. You know what I'm saying? So, okay,
he was
Phil,
hooping, but your team was over
here.
Yeah,
man, that's nice. Hey, man.
Yeah, good job.
Congrats, you got your 40, dog,
But look at the scoreboard.
We're going to eat this W right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So.
Yeah.
But I know Phil a long time. He, one of Kyrie's favorite people, which I'm sure that is making Kyrie ecstatic.
Yeah.
That Phil's on the staff, and I think he tried to get him on the staff with him before. They obviously were connected in Cleveland. Phil is a masterful coach, player development coach, budding head coach, and I think that was a steal of a pickup. I think a lot of NBA teams were stupid not to add him after he, departed from the Lakers. I'm like, how is he still in the market? Like, Phil has such a strong presence in terms of social media and stuff like that. Like, I think it might be a little intimidating to some coaches and stuff. That's silly. Like,
he's working with a lot of players, including Juju Watkins from USC as well.
Like, what an amazing addition for J. Kidd, and obviously they coach together with the Lakers as well. Popeye Jones is funny. I covered Popeye in when he played for the Denver Nuggets. We got to be good friends, and we actually had a radio show together in Denver. Called Round Ball Rap, and it was me and Popeye Jones, a weekly radio show. I think we both made about 150 each or something like that, right? Like, and but it was good. Like, we had good guests and everything, and we were filming it then at remember those sports bars, ESPN Zone?
Yeah, I remember those.
Going there. So his sons, who are both like NHL players, one's an NHL star.
Yeah, just one won the Stanley Cup this year. Yeah,
he they used to come and they used to get free tokens. They didn't care about the podcast. I mean, the radio show. The lady they got sweet on the lady that was running the plays loved them 2 little boys.
Yeah.
So she gave them all the tokens they wanted.
Just go play all.
So I just saw him play video games. But Popeye left the show to become an assistant with Dallas, and
wow,
I think he's a future NBA head coach. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. He's really a talented addition and coming back home.
Yeah, favorite.
He's really,
Dallas
really
fans.
excited to come back to Dallas, and I'm happy for him too.
As we finish up here, when you look at the rest of the offseason for this team going into next year, what's the one thing that you're looking at as we go into the rest of the offseason and say, hey, you need to watch out for this team because of X here when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks, whether it be Anthony Davis or whom else you may think of?
Who's your trainer now?
We're still figuring that out. They did hire Jeff Pulls, the head strength and conditioning coach from the Chicago Bulls.
He's the MVP of the team right now. He's not MVP. He's like the guy I'm paying attention to.
Yeah. Which is an interesting thing when you think about NBA teams, that you're not thinking necessarily about the training staff, but
I have
this
no
team,
questions about the roster.
Yeah.
All my questions about is keeping these guys out the training room and keeping them healthy. Because if they're healthy, they're a problem.
Yeah.
And this team, on paper, to me, is better than the team that went to the finals.
Wow. That's a bold statement. That's a bold statement.
I don't think it's bold. That team got lucky. they were lightning in a bottle, man. Let's not act like they were lightning in a bottle, man. And
some fans may disagree with you on that a little bit.
Disagree with me.
Yeah.
Like they've disagreed before.
Yeah.
Playoffs are all about health, matchup,
timing,
and luck.
Yeah.
And it all fell into place for them, and yay.
Yeah.
You know, and then reality hit in the finals, right? But
the Celtics team was good, yeah.
They made it. But this team is better if they're healthy.
Well, there you heard it here, folks, from the Basketball Hall of Famer class of 2023. He's a senior NBA writer for Anscape.
I mean, if I'm right, why would they be mad at me?
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're right.
I don't need why would they hate me on this? You're going to be wrong. Okay, then your teammate. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you.
You want me to be right.
We do want you to be right, for sure, when it comes to the Mavericks. Marc J. Spears, senior NBA writer for Anscape and ESPN and Basketball Hall of Famer. Marc, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. And thanks for jumping on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Shout out to Marc J. Spears for joining us in Las Vegas at, of course, Westgate Superbook during our time in Las Vegas. Of course, Basketball Hall of Famer, class of 2023, and ESPN senior writer for Anscape and ESPN. When we come back here on the DLLS Mavs podcast, Bleacher Report released its top 100 players of all time. Bobby Carella's got beef with the list. We're going to let him cook on what he's got going on with this list next on the DLLS Mavs podcast.
No one likes the smell of musk. What are you? You're musty, right? Musty is when you're sweat musky, whatever. Either way, whenever you smell bad, no one likes it. Whether it's your coworkers, whether it's people that you're hanging out with, like your friends, or if you're going on a date or whatever. Wherever you are, if you're sweaty, you smell bad, and if you smell bad, you look bad, and if you look bad, then everyone hates you. And if you want confidence, right? You need to be confident. You want to be smelling good. You could smell instead like bourbon leather, like Clover Woods, like Mount Fuji, or like Pro Sport. These are just some of the scents offered by our friends at Mando. Mando's going to get you smelling right from head to toe. And you can get a starter pack right now. It's perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid state deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code DLLS at shopmando.com. Again, 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe and everywhere in between with Mando.
Started by 2 college friends, Saturday Neon makes officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs perfect for your home, your office, your dorm room, your fan cave, your bar, your bedroom, your RV, the backseat of your car, really anywhere, your Lime scooter that you rent, down on the street. Pop a neon sign from Saturday Neon, because they have, unlike traditional neon, their LED signs won't break, they won't shatter. They're still going to give you that uniform glow that you know and love. The LEDs last up to 100,000 hours. You're going to be enjoying this sign for years to come. They're also super easy to install. You just got to use the provided hardware. Low voltage also, so they don't get hot. They're always safe to touch. So head over to SaturdayNeon.com and use code DLLS for 10% off your favorite sign.
Bleacher Report releases top 100 NBA players of all time. There's some disrespect going on with this particular list as Bleacher Report got folks talking about the greatest players of all time as ranked. Michael Jordan came in at number 1 on the
Whoa, spoilers.
Well, come on, man. We know
I hadn't got that far. It takes a lot of scrolling to get through
really
this.
does.
The top 5 players of all time, according to Bleacher Report: Michael Jordan at number 1, LeBron James at number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at number 3, Magic Johnson at number 4, and Bill Russell coming in at number 5, rounding out the top 10. Shaquille O'Neal at 6, Tim Duncan, Bobby Karalla at number 7, Larry Bird at number 8. What is Will Chamberlain at number 9, and Stephen Curry cracks the top 10 at number 10. But Bobby Karalla, there's some disrespect going on with this particular list when it comes to a certain number 41.
Yeah, I figure we can talk about Dirk in the next part, but I wanted to get through the unobjectionable stuff first, right? So there's quite a few Mavs, current and former, on this list. Klay Thompson made it at number 98.
That's right.
Which honestly, like,
feels a little low.
Kind of like, okay, Klay Thompson's top 100 player all time. I agree. But then you look around him on the list, like, is Klay better than Joe Dumars and Dave DeBusschere? Like, maybe, probably. I don't know. Is he better than Bernard King? I don't know. Like, maybe.
Chauncey Billups.
Probably. Chauncey Billups, I think, for sure.
I think he's for sure better than Chauncey.
Klay's better
Billups.
than. So, like, I think Klay could have been a lot higher, but the way they did this is it's like a panel. So they had a bunch of people rank them, and then they kind of synthesize it all and spit out an average, and that's how they did it. But here's just, like, to put into context some of the things Klay did. So there's just a little sentence of all of his achievements. He scored 37 points in a quarter in 2015. He made an NBA record 14 threes in a game. He needed just 4 dribbles in a 43-point game in 2019. 11 dribbles in a 60-point game in 2016. And he's known as Game 6 Klay because he has just single-handedly, like, turned series around or closed them out.
I was at one of those. I was at the 2016. I covered that.
Oh, just an iconic moment. I was in Arkansas watching that game, actually. The whole bar was going nuts. Jason Tatum, number 93, is pretty interesting. I don't know if Tatum is better than Klay at this point. Working our way...
Was he greater?
Was he greater?
Yeah. Was he a greater player?
Tatum?
Yeah.
Is Tatum greater than? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. But that's what we're measuring.
Yeah,
like
measuring
at some
greatness.
point, yeah.
And they also include, like, totality of your career and also cultural impact. And I would say Jason Tatum has had a large cultural impact for being a cringe lord. So I
was like, where is he going with this?
I do think his final celebration was just iconic. Paul George, number 78. Number 78 for Paul George feels a little high. I think Klay's probably had a better career than him. Even
Klay is arguably the second greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah, I think even titles aside, I think Klay might have had a better career. Manu Ginobili, one of the nemesis of my childhood, is number 75. Chris Bosh, 71. I don't think Chris Bosh had a better career than Klay.
Manu should be higher.
Next Mav on the list, Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Number 69 on the list.
A pretty nice ranking.
I don't know why you had to put emphasis on that.
Well, just saying the number. I honestly, I wasn't even leaning into the 69 bit. I was literally just saying number 69. I think Kyrie, like, he didn't make the 75 team because of stuff. He's easily one of the 75 best players of all time.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, there's no argument there.
Oh, all right,
yeah,
cool.
There's no argument.
Well, we agree.
Yeah.
He could be higher, you know. And
he could be higher on this list, but
he's going to be I think he plays a couple that's like 2 or 3 more seasons about what he was last year. 2 more seasons about what he was last year if he's able to get back.
He gets another title with
How about
LeBron.
If he went, relax. Correct.
Oh,
if he wins another title and goes maybe 50, 40, 90 in one of these next 2-3 years, he could get into top 50.
He's especially if you're factoring in influence and just how much they've impacted the game. He's a top 50 player.
Oh,
Kyrie's your favorite player's favorite player.
He's like everyone in the league loves that guy.
Yeah. If you're really emphasizing that, he might be a top 25 player. But I think for a list like this, you know, top 50 makes sense.
Number 65, former Mav Vince Carter. Love that guy. Probably one of his most iconic moments. Obviously, the dunk contest is like huge, but one of his most famous shots came in a Mavs uniform. So that's pretty cool. Number 57 already, Luka Doncic. Bunch of All-NBA award, first team All-NBA finishes, awards, honors, I guess. Finals, couple conference finals runs. Luka had a pretty good career. Ray Allen ranked ahead of him. A couple other guys. Paul Pierce ranked ahead of Luka.
Luka, after his retirement in the summer.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
Luka's hanging him up.
It's really tough for our comments. But, you know, I hope maybe he'll change his mind and come back.
Anthony Davis, number 45 on the list. So the Mavs actually got a steal in that trade. They got a better player and a pick in that deal. But Anthony Davis, the number 45 player of all time, 24 points per game, almost 11 boards, more than 2 blocks, more than a steal. I think that's 45 might be a little high, but he is a generational defender. And at his peak was easily top 5 player in the league. Even now that he's on the other side of 30, he's still probably top 10, top 15 player in the league. Won a title, was the best or second best player on that Lakers title team. I think that may be a little high for AD, but I could see it.
If you look up Hall of Fame probability, which a few places track, and in this instance I'm using Basketball Reference, Anthony Davis is 44th all time in Hall of Fame probability with .998. Or 99.9%.
So he's a virtual Hall of Famer.
Who's ahead of him?
Ray Allen is one spot as an active player. Russell Westbrook.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Who is also a guaranteed Hall of Famer. James Harden actually hits the celebrated 100%.
Wow.
There is zero doubt.
There's no such thing as a sure thing. Something could always happen. All right.
Harden, Westbrook are
they're
objectively Hall of Fame players.
I know, but we never know.
Yeah, right? LeBron, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, James Harden are all and practically Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Jokic, and Dame are all seen as lock Hall of Famers right now.
Mavs coach Jason
Paul
Kidd.
George is the next, interestingly enough.
J. Kidd, number 33 on the list, finishing ahead of Steve Nash and Allen Iverson, among other contemporaries. That seems about fitting. J. Kidd is one of the best point guards of all time.
I would say J. Kidd is legitimately top 5, definitely top 10, maybe top 5 point guard of all time. He would be in my top 5.
Kawhi Leonard ranked ahead of J. Kidd, and so is Chris Paul.
Kawhi Leonard.
I think both are correct.
Jeez, man.
Both are correct.
Chris Paul over J. Kidd, that's a tough one.
Is he one of the more intriguing what-ifs of all time?
Chris Paul is...
Kawhi?
Yeah. Like, if he had just been able to stay...
Yeah, I mean, he's the best player in the league whenever he's right.
Yeah, like, it just... Man.
Chris Paul should have had an MVP at some point. He made the All-NBA team 11 times.
Giannis, number 24. D-Wade, number 23. Karl Malone, 22. Moses Malone, number 20. Now we've cracked into the top 20. And we can hit an early break if we want, because the focal point of this entire thing for Mavs fans starts at number 18.
Scottie Pippen being outside of the top 25 is kind of wild, but okay. I'll allow it. He's at 28, but I'll allow it.
You want to hit an early break?
Yeah, let's take our next
break. So
break.
we can get to the absolute travesty.
Giannis is 24th?
That's right.
Yeah, I honestly...
Is that too high or too low?
It might be a little low.
Giannis might have...
Might be a little low.
By the time Giannis is done, he'll rank higher than Dirk, and the guy that's ahead of Dirk on this list should not have ever been ahead of Dirk. So if they just straight swap, I wouldn't even complain. But I got a lot of problems with you people.
Bobby will tell you why next on the DLLS Mavs podcast.
But first, hey, those guys are looking good. They're looking good with the new merch. That stuff that we just dropped today.
I look like a soccer player who just scored a goal and is
pointing
to
you got to point
crest.
to that. Point to the crest. Point to the crest, and that is it's all Dallas themed stuff. We launched the Dallas collection. It's a city collection. 6 shirts of things that are all related. There's a mascot one in the middle. If you're just listening to the pod, there's like Champ, Rowdy. Who's the Rangers and the Victory Green, the Stars mascot? Who's the Rangers mascot? Is it just the Peagle?
I don't know.
It's also a horse, isn't it? The Rangers mascot. Anyway, they're all combined into one. It's like watching
mashup.
Sid in Toy Story. Sid, misunderstood character, by the way. Anyway, all of that stuff just launched our website. Make sure and pick you up one. And if you become a diehard today, You can get one of those shirts for free right when you sign up. The cost of the membership is almost just worth that shirt. So it's basically like you're getting a free membership, and that membership includes a bunch of other benefits that you want to take advantage of, including discounts on other merch that you might want. You get to join the DLS Diehard Discord Lounge. Great place to hang out. Talk with your fellow diehards. Talk to us. We got to hang out with a couple diehards in Vegas, including Sarah's in the chat right now. You also get to read the website, alldlls.com. Read stuff from Tim. Read stuff from Jeff on the Rangers. Read stuff from Clarence on the Cowboys. Read stuff from Sam and Sean on the Stars beat. You also get your physical diehard card. Kevin Gray.
Bam!
Boom. We all have one of those. Mine is in my wallet. I always keep my wallet out there during shows. So if you ever want to rob me, just do it during a show. Although if you get up and leave during a show, I will be suspicious because, like, where are you guys going?
And then now that we know where your wallet is, I guess,
trust me, there ain't nothing valuable in there. All right,
your physical diehard cards in there. What are you talking about?
That's right. That's right.
Like,
That's
come on,
more than
Corella,
anything
geez.
else. Anyway, thanks for becoming a diehard.
Wow. Let's finish up here on the DLLS Mavs podcast here today.
Swipe my wallet, Tim Cato.
As we go through Bleacher Report's top 100 NBA players of all time, we have cracked the top 20 where controversy abounds because a certain number 41 might be a little low on this list.
Yeah, so Dirk comes in at number 18 on the list. Now, again, this is a panel-wide vote. There's a little like blurb under each player. There's stats and all that stuff. And then it shows the highest ranking and the lowest ranking among the voters. Now, the highest ranking Dirk had by a voter was 15. The lowest Dirk had was 27, which is wild. Now, Nikola Jokic, who
Reveal
finished...
yourself, 27 voter.
Coward.
Yeah.
Now, Nikola Jokic finished 17th ahead of Dirk, which honestly, no complaints there. Like, Jokic is already one of the best players of all time. Jokic's lowest rating was number 28. So someone is even lower on Jokic than they were on Dirk. But the real problem that I have is with number 16 on this list. That is Kevin Garnett. Now, I am not one to diminish Kevin Garnett's greatness. He is certainly one of the best defensive players of all time. He was basically the AD of his generation. Granted, I think AD has a much higher offensive ceiling than KG ever did, but KG was a generational defensive anchor. 15-time All-Star, 12-time All-Defense, 9-time All-NBA. His lowest ranking on the list was number 24. Now, it's hard whenever you're talking about players, like ranking players, which honestly you should never do. But when you do, it's hard to talk about team greatness because, like,
as we go through an entire list.
Well,
No,
yeah,
you
but
should
like
never do it.
there are like KG's teammates in Minnesota were just he was on a lot of lousy teams, you know. Dirk, meanwhile, like while KG was kind of struggling in the West, Dirk was playing with Nash and with Finley, and then later got J. Kidd and, you know, all that stuff. So I would say Dirk never played on a team that was as good as the 08 Celtics. He was never part of a big three that was close to those guys. But earlier in his career, he had better supporting cast than KG did. But if we're talking about like greatness, dude, like KG was a singularly great defensive player, but I really feel like we're trying too hard to talk about defense. Like Dirk was a singularly great offensive player. And cultural impact, like not only the cultural impact of the international game and placing an emphasis on international scouting, especially in Europe, completely destroying the whole Euros are soft myth, and then also completely changing the game, like the culture of basketball, like the way that basketball is played. Kevin Garnett didn't change any of that stuff. Kevin Garnett did not change any scouting. Kevin Garnett did not change any sort of, I mean, if he was one of the first high school success stories, so I guess there is something to be said for that. But KG did not change anything about the game, anything about the way the game is played, or any of that stuff. So I think Dirk not only was a singularly great offensive player, for my money, one of the 5 or 10 best offensive players non-center division of all time, if not higher than that. KG might be one of the 5 or 10 best defensive players of all time, but he's not one of the top 200 offensive players of all time, if not even lower than that. And so I just think I think we're really underrating offense here and really underrating impact. And I think Dirk has always been better than KG. And I don't even mean Kevin Gray. I mean Kevin Garnett. Kevin, you're better than Dirk. But Kevin Garnett, you're not.
Okay, it's yes. Now the point of being, Dirk torched Garnett a lot in the postseason,
all the time.
In the postseason,
all the time.
And
in the regular season, Dirk gave him that freaking work, dude. Even whenever he was on the Celtics. Dude, the 2011 Mavs steamrolled. The Mavs beat the Celtics all the time.
The part that is interesting that you did say, though, that I think allows the argument in terms of where this ranking is to be compelling, I would personally have Dirk ahead of Kevin Garnett. But where it does get compelling, you said that Dirk was one of the 5-10 best offensive players of all time. In the same sentence, you said Kevin Garnett is one of the 5-10 best defensive players of all time. But even if it's a maybe, now we're having different discussions about which one is of more importance, because if you're going to look at Kevin Garnett, purely from the defensive side, I mean, 12-time all defensive player and a defensive player of the year award winner. Nothing to sneeze at, man. Again, I would have Dirk ahead, but I can see where the argument starts to come in if you're looking at what's more important in terms of the offensive and defensive sides of the basketball. Like, Kevin Garnett's an all-time defensive player, just like Dirk is an all-time offensive player.
He is. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Garnett is great. But here, let's run down a couple statties. All right. So in 04-05, the Mavs in the clutch led the league in win percentage. They won 70% of their clutch games that year. They actually won 69.8%. So how about that? 05-06, the Mavs won 72.7% of their clutch games. That was second best in the league, behind only the Spurs. So that's over a 2-year period. They were winning more than 70% of their clutch games. How about 06-07 in the clutch? The Mavs went 32-6 in the clutch. They won 84% of their clutch games in 06-07. For a 3-year period, coin flip games, the Mavs were damn near unbeatable, dude. And that is all Dirk. Kevin Garnett was a great defensive player, but Dirk was great at playing I win. For Dirk's entire career, the Mavs had the second most wins in the NBA, behind only the Spurs. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime dynasty. And the Mavs didn't even finish that far behind San Antonio during that.
So put KG on those Mavs teams. How much better is Kevin Garnett if he gets the kind of supporting cast?
I mean, the Mavs aren't. They would have to totally reinvent. KG would not have been a good fit, I think, with Nash and Finley. I think you needed that open kind of Dirk spacing thing. Now, KG on the finals team, they wouldn't have won the finals. KG was older by then, but stylistically, I don't even know if they would have won, let's say, early Kid era, Kid, Jet, Josh Howard, Garnett. That team isn't doing anything. Dirk was so freaking good.
No, I agree. Absolutely incredible. I'm just thinking about in terms of where these players are in this ranking. It's interesting. A couple of the numbers from the Garnett side of things. Garnett and Hakeem Olajuwon, the only players with at least 2,000 blocks and 1,800 steals for their careers. And Garnett is tied for the all-time lead with 9 all-defensive first-team honors. Apparently, he was the highest.
All-defensive voting is a little wacky, though. Let's be real.
KG really
made
was
way
that
too many
good.
of those.
What I'll say about KG is that the advanced metrics, looking back on his career, vindicate a lot of the choices that voters made about him at the time. He didn't he won an MVP and a kind of forgettable MVP. He was MVP runner-up twice more than another time he was third. This was a guy who was often considered to be one of the very, very best players in the NBA. And his advanced numbers, even simple stuff like win shares, have always, expanded and expounded upon how important, how good he was. The argument with Dirk is that the numbers still don't fully capture what Dirk was able to do. And I 100% believe that. I do think that it takes a lot of watching Dirk Nowitzki and knowing Mavericks history to fully grasp that. But it is, on one hand, it's stuff like just being a clutch demon. Being able to get those wins in those moments when you need to. But we've never been able to fully define, spacing. The impact that the, most unique shooter had in the NBA on the Mavericks offense year over year. He's not, Dirk Nowitzki is not getting assists just because 2 defenders ran at him and were scared of him shooting the ball, and one of his teammates dunked it instead. We still don't have a perfect way to define that. I don't think there's any doubt in my head that, when you look at the numbers, the metrics, that Dirk is not fully realized.
We have some breaking news real quick. And Stein has it as well. So
I can't believe Stein is interrupting Dirk talk. This must be important.
Dereck Lively II recently underwent a procedure in his right foot, followed by a placement in a boot. So Lively is out of the boot after having bone spurs removed.
I reported after the season this was possible. Bummer to see it, but yeah, I knew we knew that he wasn't, even when he was coming back and playing some, that there were complications still ongoing with his situation.
Yeah, so Dallas's Dereck Lively II recently underwent a procedure on his right foot, as Marc Stein has reported, followed by a placement in a boot. Again, Lively, according to Marc Stein, is now out of the boot after having bone spurs removed out of that right foot. So another Maverick with an offseason injury to deal with. Kyrie Irving, of course, recovering from the torn ACL. We learned recently that Anthony Davis underwent surgery for a detached retina. And now Dereck Lively II recently going under a procedure for his right foot. So more injury news when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks moving forward here. So appreciate Sarah, who was in the chat, alerting us to that news coming through there, as well as we continue to scour social media. But Marc Stein reporting that Dereck Lively II having underwent a procedure on his right foot. Action to that, gentleman.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Sucks. This is, bone spurs is a cleanup procedure. I'm not, an expert on it, but it's not a 6-month recovery process. There is reason to believe that Dereck Lively should be ready for training camp and early in the season.
Is expected to be healthy for training camp.
And there is reason to believe that, this is a procedure to try to make him healthier in the years to come. But this is his big question. He is a 7-footer, a 7'1" guy who moves like not a lot of 7-footers move. And he has had injury complications dating back even before Duke. And that's the big question. Being able to see if he can get past that and move past that. And hopefully this is a step in that direction.
I just really want that guy to be healthy so bad, because he's so good. He's so good. And, obviously for the Mavs, like him, struggling with injuries last year was devastating to their chances, especially after Gafford went out as well. But, just for him individually, like after this season, he's up for a contract extension negotiations and stuff. And what you don't want to be having is missing more than half your career games, due to various injuries. And you don't want to be 7'1", 7'2" with foot problems. Like, you don't want any of that. You don't want any of that.
Coming up here momentarily, Marc Stein wants to join us here on the DLLS Mavs.
Isn't he off today?
Well, he's reporting news, so he's not, apparently.
Hey, he's worse at vacation than you. He's coming on the show on his day off.
I'm pretty bad at vacationing.
You're bad, but at least you just stay in the chat. You just stay in the chat.
I do stay in the chat. Actually, you know what's funny? And it will be funny. So remember when Luka did that interview with Malika Andrews, and he was talking about Nico Harrison and all this other stuff? I was actually in Vegas at WrestleMania when I put that. I saw that and watched that and put that out there on social media. So I'm horrible at vacationing. It's just unfortunately a bad thing of mine. But no, Marc Stein is going to call in here in just a moment to discuss the latest when it comes to Dereck Lively II and his recent procedure that he went for his right foot to clean up bone spurs in that right foot. So that's some more of the injury news when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks. We're reacting to that here as we had just finished up going through the top 100 players of all time as far as Bleacher Report is concerned, discussing where Dirk Nowitzki ranked in that. But as again, we recount the injury situation that the Mavericks have gone through so far this offseason. Obviously, Kyrie Irving recovering from the torn ACL. We learned that Anthony Davis had a procedure to repair a detached retina. Now Dereck Lively II, the latest in terms of injury, offseason surgery for him. And this is off of a season where you mentioned Daniel Gafford, who had the knee injury. Dante Exum had the wrist and the hand injury for him. A lot of guys, and Kyrie Irving, we forgot, had to deal with the back injury throughout the course of last year as well that he played through before.
I'm going to have to go back and look at the context of these specific questions asked to him, but Nico Harrison did answer questions about whether Anthony Davis or Dereck Lively would have offseason surgeries, and said in both cases they would not.
And of course,
the retina might be something different, and it might not be in the context of what was asked. So that one I'm willing to brush aside, but I reported after the season that there was an expectation Dereck Lively may need summer surgery.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that were asked. And yeah, it's you can say whatever you want in a press conference, but this is kind of adds to some of the hesitancy to always trust everything Nico Harrison is saying. This kind of adds to it. I remember he very directly answered the Lively one and said he would not.
The conversation continues over at alldlls.com. Make sure you follow alldlls.com for everything when it comes to your Dallas Mavericks. Momentarily, we'll be joined by National NBA insider Marc Stein here on the DLLS Mavs podcast as we react to the breaking news. Dereck Lively II recently had a procedure done on his right foot to get bone spurs removed from that foot, according to our very own Marc Stein, who will have the latest details on that surgery for him. Also, we had forgotten to mention Anthony Davis, who had been dealing with the adductor strain when he had came over from the Lakers, was able to come back eventually, but also was dealing with that throughout the course of his time here in Dallas at the end of last year as well. So hopefully he'll be obviously fine when it comes to that this upcoming year, but just more when it comes to the injury front for this Dallas Mavericks team that they will have to continue to monitor. And this gives more credence to the idea who Daniel Gafford signed that 3-year, $54 million contract with the Dallas Mavericks, an insurance policy when it comes to the big men in the middle for this basketball team to be able to have as much front court help as they need to if they're going to play this type of style, being as big as they are. That Daniel Gafford extension seems that much more prudent now, given what we were learning about Dereck Lively II and his injury.
Yeah, it was always prudent, and this is, this is a situation where Lively is expected to be back for camp, and you want him to be healthy, and you want, but we always understood that part of the idea of keeping Gafford, like having this many guys, it makes sense if players are just injured the entire time. That's not the situation you want to plan for. The team's not trying to go into next season, wanting Anthony Davis and Dereck Lively to be out, because those are two of the team's best four players, more or less. And so if Daniel Gafford is an insurance policy, that makes sense. To an extent, it also means your team's going to be worse because the players that are better than him are going to be missing games. So it's kind of like, you kind of weigh it both ways, Oh,
we'll have Mark here in just a moment. As we await him, we have more in the chat as well with reaction to the injury. Sarah says, get these guys a podiatrist on staff. Shout out to you, Sarah. Always looking out for the team. So that is that news then when it comes to Dereck Lively II, then having undergone that surgery to clean up the bone spurs in the right foot, according to our very own Marc Stein, who, of course, is all over that. He was with us in Las Vegas as well. Stein also saying additionally, the Mavericks were hopeful that Lively would not require offseason surgery after being limited to 36 games by the injury last season, but the expectation is that the 21-year-old will be available for the start of Dallas's training camp in late September. So additional context there from Marc Stein when it comes to Dereck Lively's surgery, as far as his foot is concerned, that he is expected to be ready for training camp in late September. So we were looking for good news.
Do we have any idea when he's going to be on? Because we're straight up just killing time right now. All right.
Moments away. Excited to get the update.
Any other qualms with the top 100 list?
No, not really. I mean, I don't remember where we left off on that one. Yeah, I just don't really remember. Oh, I think Durant was and it's not just the Dirk and KG thing. Again, it's not just defense matters. I mean, they're even saying impact on the game.
Mm-hmm.
What impact did KG have on the game? Dirk changed the whole freaking way that it's played. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
they changed the rules. They changed everything.
The impact of the game that Dirk Nowitzki had, he changed the way that the modern forwards played.
You think KD exists if Dirk is not?
Yeah,
Dirk is KD's favorite player.
We should get
how's that for impact?
We should get Stein's thoughts on this.
Yeah. We're gonna get Mark. Is Dirk better than KG?
Okay.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Thanks for the
Hello, Marc
softball
Stein.
question to welcome me in.
We were talking about a top 100 list of all time. We can come back to that, though. Your breaking news, though. Dereck Lively II recently undergoing a procedure to remove bone spurs from his right foot. What more can you tell us about this for Dereck Lively?
Yeah, obviously I think the Mavericks were hopeful that no offseason procedures would be required after this injury obviously severely affected Lively's season. The procedure required his foot to be placed in a boot. I was told this morning that he is now out of the boot. They are optimistic that he'll be ready for the start of camp. And that's really as much as we have at this point. But look, I mean, I think you guys can state the obvious here, and we all can see it and understand it. Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Dereck Lively. I mean, Lively is certainly going to be the first of those guys, or would be projected to be the first of those guys to. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't even say that because I don't know that. So scratch that. I don't know that because I don't know AD's status. The Mavericks have said that the anticipation is that both Dereck Lively. Actually, you know what? I'm trying to do this on the fly, guys. I don't even want to go there. Like I mean that's the difficulty with some of these things is like I literally have reported everything I know. We don't have a firm injury timetable on any of the three players, so I think we're going to have to take a wait and see approach. There is undeniable optimism that Lively would be ready for camp. On Anthony Davis, I think you have to wait and see because that's obviously an eye injury, and that's a serious thing to just even say out loud and talk about. And Kyrie Irving, I know a big part of today's show, you guys were talking about Nico Harrison's comments on the Summer League broadcast. Nico Harrison has publicly said he's publicly said that Kyrie's ahead of schedule, but what that actually means for a timetable, and we don't have a firm injury timetable on any of the three players, and that's the most accurate thing that can be said. Until we get some recovery timetables, I do not want to make guesses because I am not a doctor and not qualified to do so.
Yeah, and it's those three players are the Mavericks' three best players, or at least you could make an argument for it. Obviously, I am a bit of a Lively truther, after watching that run to the finals, but I think he's that good. And so this is a scenario where Dallas is going into next season with, yes, we've talked about how this team is deep, maybe too deep. If they're going to be missing Anthony Davis and Dereck Lively to start the year, again, not saying we do not know that, not saying you said that, but if there's even the tiniest chance that those guys wouldn't be out to start the year, it does explain and show why Dallas is so deep, because a lot of these players who haven't been moved, who might be in minute crunches, they're set to get minutes right away, in that fully hypothetical scenario. But it also means that it's a lot harder to see Dallas having a successful year if they have to start off on the wrong foot that early and that painfully.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be, it's not a new team, but this is the first training camp after this trade that changed everything around here. So again, the expectation is that Dereck Lively is going to be ready for training camp. On Anthony Davis, I feel like we have to take a wait and see approach there because, I mean, that is a scary surgery that, we just don't know that much about yet. When I've asked, I've heard similar optimism. But again, in none of these cases do we have a team issued recovery timetable yet. And I think until we have that, it's hard for us to make projections. But I mean, look, this is obviously, it's going to be, I'm sure, received as jarring news at the minimum, just because we all know how important Lively is to this team's future. And last season, he was only able to play in 36 games because of this injury that did cause a lot of tension and a lot of stuff last year, obviously. So, I mean, the good news is, like I said, I was told this morning that he's exited the boot and that it was, removing bone spurs was the objective of this procedure. So, Dereck Lively has been through enough injury torment in his first 2 seasons. Let's hope that he can start next season in training camp and that this stuff is going to be behind him by then, because it's just been too many things for a player who does have a lot of promise, and it is hugely important to this franchise.
And real quick too, we obviously have been talking about the detached retina for Anthony Davis. To your knowledge, and you may have to do more reporting on this, as far as the adductor strain that he suffered during the season, where is Anthony Davis with that? Is he healthy from that going into next year? We have not really discussed that since the season has really been over with respect to him either.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I don't have a reportable update on that. I've had no access to AD since the season ended, so I really don't know. I think, this is the kind of event we typically would have seen Anthony Davis attend. I mean, he's always someone who comes to summer league, but eye surgery, detached retina, that is stuff that needs to be handled with the utmost sensitivity. So that obviously takes travel off the table. I think it's safe to connect the dots to presume that that's why we didn't see him in attendance here at summer league because of that surgery. So I think the Mavs' hope in both AD's case and Dereck Lively's case was that neither player would have to undergo anything this offseason, that they could just heal naturally. And, I'm sure as the summer unfolds, we'll get more on AD and the adductor strain, but I can't give you that right now because I don't have it. That's on me.
Mark,
I mean, this is
you go ahead. Oh, do we lose him? Mark? I was going to ask you to make me feel better. Mark, do you read me?
We have an optometrist in the chat who says, optometrist here. Yes, air travel, no go after that kind of surgery.
I think David Mason has also a very important comment. We saw AD FaceTiming with D'Lo on D'Lo's YouTube, and AD still had both eyes.
That's good. That is good. That is good news. Yeah, because I was going to say, man, they're three.
Not even Stein had that.
The three most important players having surgery on knee, foot, and eye. Like, if you're going to power rank the three most important things, or the three scariest things to have surgery on as a basketball player, those would probably be in the top 5. Mark.
I'm back.
Is there something we can feel good about? This is a lot of bad news. What can we feel good about? Make me feel happy about something, please.
I do think it was good to hear that Kyrie's ahead of schedule. I would imagine you guys liked hearing that. I imagine you liked hearing that the Mavericks won the lottery and drafted Cooper Flagg. I imagine you guys are still basking in the afterglow of a good week in Las Vegas.
My quest to catch up on sleep is well underway.
Yeah, same.
This can't even count as a consolation, but I have been chasing this story for a good bit here, and I am at least glad that I was able to report it while you guys were still on the air so I could jump on here. I was worried that I was going to be reporting this after you guys were off the air. So, I mean, again, that I don't even want to paint that as a consolation, but I was, I'm glad that I'm at least able to come on here and try to add a little bit. It's tough. I know. Look, man, I can't see the chat. I'm sure everyone has a zillion questions. They're all valid. I wish I had more detail. I've really reported everything that I know at this point. And crucially, we do not have specific timetables for recovery on any of the 3 players. So it's hard to make projections without that. And I know that's what everybody wants, and I'm sorry that I can't provide it.
Well, no, the reporting that you've already done, alerting us to this news here with Dereck Lively II, obviously timely here with us on the DLLS Mavs podcast. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time with us to hop on with us here on the show. And we'll talk to you here next time. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Talk soon. Be good.
Bye, Mark.
Appreciate our guy Marc Stein for joining us here to discuss the breaking news with Dereck Lively II having underwent a procedure to remove bone spurs from his right foot. We will be back tomorrow.
Real quick, I gotta clean up something earlier. So I did not know the Rangers mascot. It's obviously Rangers captain.
Yeah.
So the DLLS mascot,
unbelievable
conglomeration, aggregation, smorgasbord shirt. It's Rangers captain. Victory green.
I think DLLS Rangers should go after you like DLLS Stars went after Tim McMahon.
Okay, well, I didn't know that this hipster mascot, all right? Wow. I just didn't know.
Wow, you just leaned all the way into it. Nice job.
Yeah.
We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Make sure you follow us at DLLS_Mavs for all the latest when it comes to your Dallas Mavericks. Shout out to our guy Tanner for making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Tanner.
Our Mavericks analyst Bobby Curl. That's our Mavericks beat writer Tim Cato holding the mic. My name is Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 p.m. right here
in honor of the best player of all time.
Y'all be good.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.